Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the confusing world of big business and figure out exactly what's going on behind the scenes. And let me tell you, Healthcare Services Group is dropping some news that's definitely worth a closer look. Stick around because we're about to break down their latest earnings report and see if they're hitting it out of the park or striking out. And hey, before we dive in, if you love getting these straight talking insights into corporate filings, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a super active Discord community linked in the description below, so come join the conversation. So what we're looking at here is essentially a snapshot of Healthcare Services Group, also known as HCSG, and their recent financial performance. They've filed what's called an 8K report, which is like a special announcement for the public, telling us about big things happening that investors need to know about. Today we're focusing on their results for the 3 months that ended on June 30th of 2025. This is all about their earnings, how much money they made, and everything that goes along with that. The date on this report is July 23rd, 2025, which tells us this is their most up-to-date information that they are officially sharing with the world. Think of it as the latest bulletin from HCSG. The main event in this filing is all about their results of operations and financial condition. In plain English, this means they're telling us how the company did financially during that recent period. It's like getting the score report for a business game. What's really important here is that they've attached their press release and financial tables. Now, these aren't just a quick summary. These tables are where the real story is told. It's like looking at the detailed stats after a game to see who scored, who assisted, and what the final numbers really mean. Even though they say it's furnished and not filed in certain ways, for us, it's the juicy data we need to unpack their performance. Healthcare Services Group's main stock is their common stock, and it trades under the symbol HCSG on the Nasdaq Global Select Market. This is the ticker symbol you'd look for if you wanted to track its performance on the stock market. It's how professionals and investors know which company they're talking about in the busy world of trading. And who's putting their name on this? We have Vikas Singh, the Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer, signing off on this report. This means he, representing the company's financial leadership, is standing behind these numbers and the information presented. It's a formal confirmation from the finance boss. Now, let's get to those numbers. While this filing is primarily an announcement and doesn't contain the full deep dive of a quarterly report, it points to a press release with financial tables. Those tables are key. If a company is announcing its earnings, the numbers in those tables are the most important part for investors because they show the actual financial health and performance. We want to know about revenue, profit, and how they compare to the past. For example, a company's future prospects, we often see details like how much money came in from sales, also known as revenue, and then how much was left after all expenses were paid, which is the profit or net income. Big jumps or drops in these numbers are usually the headlines. When we see these financial tables, we dissect them for the core metrics. We're always comparing the latest results to previous periods, like the same quarter last year, to see if there's a trend. Is the company growing or is it shrinking? A consistent rise in revenue, for instance, might signal strong demand for their services and effective sales strategies. Conversely, a drop could mean they're facing increased competition, economic headwinds, or internal operational issues. Profitability trends are even more critical. A company might be selling more, but if its costs are rising faster, profits can actually fall. This is where we look for what's called the bottom line. Back the ultimate profit, we also pay close attention to any mentions of earnings per share or EPS, which is a key indicator of a company's profitability that's allocated to each outstanding share of common stock. A higher EPS generally means a company is more profitable on a per share basis, which is usually a good sign for shareholders. Looking at this filing, even without the full table details, right here in this specific document we're examining, the emphasis is on item 202, which is all about results of operations and financial condition. That signals that the attached press release, Exhibit 99.1, is going to be loaded with these crucial financial figures. When a company issues this kind of report, it's typically to disclose how they're performing financially, whether it's good news or bad news, and the market reacts very quickly to these numbers. The most important thing to remember is that these public disclosures are designed to keep investors informed, and deviations from expectations can cause significant stock price movements. We're always on the lookout for any surprises in those numbers. In terms of HCSG's direction, this particular filing focuses on a specific earnings announcement, so it's a window into their recent operational success or challenges without direct access to the financial tables referenced in Exhibit 99.1. It's hard to give a definitive analysis of specific numbers like revenue growth or profit margins in this very script. However, understanding what this filing represents, the announcement of their quarterly results, is crucial. HCSG operates in the healthcare services sector, which can be influenced by regulatory changes, healthcare spending trends, and the competitive landscape. Any strong financial performance could indicate they are effectively navigating these factors, while weaker results might suggest they are facing headwinds. The key is always to compare these announced figures against what analysts and the market were expecting. Did they beat expectations, meet them, or fall short? That context is vital for true understanding of the company's health and its stock's potential. Looking at the broader picture, companies like Healthcare Services Group are often evaluated not just on their reported numbers, but also on their strategy to maintain profitability and growth. Are they expanding into new markets? Are they acquiring other businesses? Or are they focusing on operational efficiency to cut costs? This 8K filing, by referencing their earnings release, is the first step in understanding their performance against these strategic goals. We're always searching for that story behind the numbers. Alright, that's our breakdown of this Healthcare Services Group filing. What's your take on these earnings announcements and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.